Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another Designer's Studio episode. Today we've got a very special release we're taking a look at. Hopefully you guys have already seen the episode we did on the Befeels Panther. Well, this is the counterpart kit to that. This is the Spearhead Pershing, as we've affectionately named it. T-26A3, I believe, is the official designation. Does come with everything you see here. This isn't a crew pack and a tank together. This is the entire thing. And if you were lucky enough to get in on the first two batches of this kit, you would have received a copy of the Spearhead novel along with a signed nameplate as well. For that kit. So that was only with the first two batches, but we do have this tank in production as well. And then we haven't done a review on it yet, so I've got Dan joining me to talk a little bit about this fully printed up, like just absolutely beastly looking Pershing. Even compared to the last one, this one's got a lot more going on with it.
Oh, right, yeah. So, I mean, the big change, I mean, aside from all the cool printing in the crew, is the addition of the suspension on it, the working suspension. So that was a big, and it was something we had semi-working suspension, but it was like gravity-fed suspension, so it wasn't, technically wasn't working suspension.
Simulated suspension or so,
this is this is different. It really will, you can roll over your hand and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that is just, if you can't see it because it's moving so much, I mean, yeah, give that a, that is so awesome to see, and especially for people
doesn't
who
want to roll on this fabric here,
especially for people who like to display mocks with their tanks kind of posed dynamically or coming over a wall or down into a trench, etc. That is a really cool thing to kind of see that wobble in there.
Yeah, you can definitely pose it. It's quite a cool I don't know, feature of this thing. So.
Was that the first thing you wanted to capture in this? Was like, all right, I want to get this suspension figured out, or did that come a little bit later on in the design process?
Well, it's because the Panther had working suspension.
Yeah, okay.
It was like, all right, well, we got to figure this one out too. So it already had, the various versions of Pershings that we've done over these already had the suspension on it. But this is the first one with actually spring-loaded. You you push it down, it'll bounce back up.
Yeah.
Just like the real thing. So that was the number one feature. We also we're really capturing the T-26A3 Eagle 7 Pershing that was involved.
Right, this particular tank, not a generic Pershing, but this one in particular. Yeah.
We were looking at pictures of the famous duel, tank duel in Cologne, where the Eagle 7 faced off against a Panther in downtown Cologne, right in front of the cathedral. And we were able to look at the pictures. It's well documented, so it's nice that we were able to
There's even video, correct? Right. Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. So it was caught on camera. It was back in the day though. It was filmed.
Yes, correct.
So, but we were able to actually capture it with all the different the appropriate stowage on it and everything. So there is tons of printed crates. These aren't stickers on here, I should point out.
Right.
These are printed all the way around.
Are there any? I don't think there's any stickers on this kit that I can recall off the top of my head.
No stickers. We've sort of put stickers in the rearview mirror these days.
Especially for the premium kits. Yeah, no, we've definitely done a good job of being able to push the envelope.
A whole lot of printing, and you're seeing printing on all sides of those crates. And you might recognize some of the artwork because a K-ration crate is a K-ration crate.
Dang right, yep.
But they've definitely been updated. All of the headgear and these are the actual crew members. So the Spearhead book, if you're lucky enough to get one of those books, I mean, you could actually go out and buy one. I shouldn't even say it. You can get it on Kindle. You can get it anywhere books are sold. It's a great book, and I highly recommend reading it. Adam Akos is a great storyteller. It's about Clarence Smoyer, who's the gunner, and it's written from his perspective for the most part. He took took the shot that took out the Panther, and all the other parts of the story that
the
leads
build up
up
almost,
and continue. It continues on. The story actually doesn't even end until years and decades after the war. So it's great. It's a great read. And I definitely recommend it. Of course, if you did get on that first batch or the first two batches, you would have a signed copy. If you haven't gotten, I think the batch 2 is. I saw them packing them up. I think this week.
Still loading up. Okay, well that's cool.
So they're heading out the door if they have not already. So.
Well, and I think when it comes to tank crews that we've created, I mean, obviously there's a lot of reference material for this one in particular, but when it comes to just unique figures across the board, how cool is it to see all 5 of these guys really, there's nothing generic about any one of them, which is really cool to see.
No, and this is truly, we're not going to be able to crank this thing out every week. So,
no.
So the first 2 batches are gone. We will, at some point, do another batch. I don't have a date yet because we are actually at this point we have production it's just stacked. So we're talking months from now before you'll be able to get your hands on another copy. So, but when it does pop back up, definitely get it.
I mean, if you're an American Armor collector, even if you don't care about the Befeels Panther whatsoever, you got to have this in your collection. I mean, it's absolutely epic.
Right. So it does have a custom 3D printed barrel, custom muzzle brake. Lots and lots of printing. Brick arms, M2HB, of course. You know, every American tank has it. Every big one, I should say. Everything bigger than a medium tank and above would have that. Lots of printed elements. You got the printed wheels, all the crates, the stowage, everything.
Some opening hatches.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to see those integrated into how tight that frontal armor slopes like that. That is just nuts.
You have to actually move the crates around in order to get that hatch to open up all the way. But it does open. You can stick a guide on there. If you really
But I mean, there's just like, look at the room between the opening functions and then how it drops straight into that armor. It's like you're working with literally millimeters worth of space there.
And again, I want to emphasize, this is a composite. This is, you know, it has, I don't even know if it has my name on the box. I think it might just say.
I think it might be another Team Brickmania one. Yeah, you're right.
So a lot of people contributed to this. You know, my first Pershing was probably almost a decade ago.
Okay.
And it's been built on, modified, you know, by successive builders at Brickmania. And here we are, full circle again. I got to work on this one, which is really like the culmination of several people's input. So it's been a real fun, you know, being part of this process and having all the printing done, having a part of the team, and then of course working with Adam Makos. You know, he was able to supply us with those book plates for the, you know, signed book plates for the Spearhead books, and I don't know if I can even say this, but he was saying that there may be a Spearhead book movie in the pipeline. So if you saw Devotion, cool, historically accurate,
absolutely,
war movie, well, maybe the same people are putting out a Spearhead book.
Well, it's done all right,
movie.
that's for sure. So that would be cool to see. I mean, I think that you can never have too many tank movies, in my opinion.
Right. There's a good story to be told there. So if it does happen to become a movie, it's going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and obviously the kit itself is excellent as well. Cool to see this whole pack come together in the way that it has, and then obviously, like we said, it does pair very well with the Befehl Panther if you do want to go take a run at creating that Spearhead mock, if you will, or just build them, not while you're reading the book, but you know, in the same day potentially. You get that option too as well.
While you're waiting for this to get restocked, you can go get
started on
your cathedral. So
go ahead and get your terrain ready to rock and make sure your Panther is put together and good to go. So very, very cool and excellent kit. Dan, thank you for reviewing this with me, and thank you guys very much for watching.